Spring is starting to show up here in Vancouver with blue skies and colourful blooms that has given me a creative energy that I have been pouring into my knitting and crochet. This month I finished 3 new pattern designs and attended my first Fibre festival of the year, so grab your project and join me as I share with you what I've been up to this month. Good morning. So today I am pretty excited because I am off to a Fibre festival. It's one I haven't been to before in BC. It's called Fibres West. I mean, I haven't actually been to that many Fibre festivals in general, just a couple since I've been living here in Vancouver. Really excited to see all the yarns from like local dyers and other like bits and pieces that's going to be available to browse and shop. I'm going with a couple of friends that I have made since going to knit night, so I'm looking forward to going with a couple of other yarny people. I know obviously I have my whole yarn stash that I'm trying to be intentional with and not grow it too much, and use it up. I have a couple of designs that I was planning to release like much later into the year that I don't necessarily have all the yarn for, so I'm going to keep those in mind, but no doubt there's going to be 1 or 2 special schemes that I just love the look of, love the feel of, that I'm going to want to buy. I think it's going to be good fun. I will try and get some video while I'm there so you can see where I'm at, and then I will obviously be sharing my purchases in a little show and tell with you when I get back. Back from Fibres West, and I wanted to show you what I have purchased. In the end, I know I said that I was going to go in with intentions and try not to get too carried away. In the end, that was actually fine because this is the first time I have been to Fibres West, and it was great. It was in a massive like hangar, and there were loads of stalls there, but I would say personally there was not as many yarn stalls as I was anticipating. There was loads of crafty things. There was lots of like bats of yarn, bats of wool, sorry, which looked amazing and were dyed beautifully, but I'm not a spinner. There was a few other things. There was like handmade buttons and all sorts of fun stuff, but in terms of yarn and like me thinking that I was going to get completely overwhelmed like I have before I like Knit City, that didn't happen. So good for my wallet. I had lots of fun, went with a couple of friends who are also like knitters and crocheters, crafty people, and we had a browse around. We were there still for a good couple of hours. In the end, we ended it by just having a coffee and a sit down and a chat before driving home. So I didn't get too much, but I will show you what I got. So I did have a couple of like future design ideas in mind and the kind of yarn, like colour or weight that I was wanting to look for, and I did find yarn for one. Sorry, I've got some fluff on my nose. Okay, so sorry. The first one, actually this is the last thing I purchased, but the first one I'm going to show you is this beautiful coloured yarn from Yoriko Oki. I'm sorry if I've pronounced her name wrong. This is a sock yarn, Mighty Elf 2 sock yarn in the colourway Peacock Queen. Oh, it's another gloomy day here in Vancouver, so I don't know how well this is showing the colour, but it's a beautiful blue, almost exactly the kind of blue that I was looking for. It is 80% superwash wool and 20% nylon. And you get 100 grams, 375 yards in the skein. I have used her sock yarn before. I bought some Christmas yarn. Whew, when was that? It would have been quite a few years ago. It's actually when I went to Knit City, which would have been 2022. I think they were in Vancouver when I went. So I knew I like her yarn. It's really, really soft, really nice to wear. Oh, the sun just came out. Wow, how funny. So I was quite happy to see her yarn in a colour exactly what I was looking for. So this is going to be a design that will be coming out closer to Christmas. And I won't tell you too much now, but it is going to be socks and like different colourways, inspired by something Christmassy. But yeah, I will save that till later in the year. But I was happy to find some yarn so I can kind of swatch and play around with that in the lead up to give myself plenty of time. So I have that, and then I got some other bits and pieces that I hadn't really thought about, but when I saw them I was like, oh yeah, I do need those things. So I also bought some 2.25 US 1 Chaigu, I still don't know how you pronounce that properly, circular yarn, but these are 16-inch 40cm circulars, and I bought them because when I'm knitting socks I love to do the short circulars, like 9-inch. That's my go-to for knitting in the round with socks. When I was doing magic loop, which when I started knitting in the round I always used magic loop, but with socks in particular, and with sleeves sometimes, I was getting a ladder from the kind of magic loop sections where the two sides were separate, and I tried like the travelling loop method for the socks. It didn't really work too well, so I thought I'd try this short circulars, and I haven't really looked back since. They can, if you're knitting for a long time, start to make your hands a bit crampy. It did with me anyways, but I find it so easy just to keep going round and round and round and round and round, not have to move the stitches around and whatever you have to do with magic loop. However, when it gets to doing the toe decreases when I'm knitting cuff down, and when I'm doing something like an afterthought heel where you're again decreasing stitches, I find it gets quite tricky to do that on the short circulars, because the fewer stitches you have, this magic loop would make that particular bit easier, but the shortness of the cable of the 9-inch makes that really tricky to do. So I thought maybe I'll get the 16-inch and give that a go. I'll just do that. I'll change it when I'm doing the decreases for toes and when I'm doing a heel, and see if that makes things a bit easier. See if I get the laddering gap and stuff. But yeah, so I bought them to try. I bought that at the same time I purchased this yarn. And then I was at a store called Copper Spoon, so indie hand-dyed yarn, who I don't think I had seen them before, but I just spend a lot of time looking at their yarn. Before I show you the yarn I bought from them, I did get something that I had been meaning to get for ages, and that is these, I don't even know what you call them, but like the flexi cord. So they're just pieces of rubber cord, like a silicone, I suppose, cord. Let me try and open this up. And I think they'd be really handy. I quite often, especially when I'm designing, want to be able to try on something as I'm making it to make sure the fit is right. But it is quite time consuming because I can't fit. Keeping the project on the needles, not necessarily going to fit over me. So put everything on waste yarn, try it on, take it off, put it back on the needles. But I had seen this cord you can get, which you can pop over, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You can pop them on the end of the needles. Oh, actually, let me show you. So this is for a 3mm and this is a 4mm needle, but you kind of pop it on like that on each end, and then you can try your project on, and you don't have to take all the stitches off the needles onto waste yarn to try it on. So although I keep thinking I need to get that, I'd not had it in the forefront of my mind, but at this store they had them, and actually it was my friend that pointed them out and said, what are these? And I was like, oh, they're these, and I wanted to get some. So I bought one for 3mm needle and 2mm needle size. Extremely long, which I guess is good for like multiple sizes. I may, because I'm probably just going to be using it on myself, I imagine I might cut it, although it doesn't particularly make a difference. But yeah, super handy to have them. They smell super plasticky. And then the final thing I bought was a skein from this copper stone. And this is one that is for fun because I just saw it and I was really drawn to it. I don't know what I'll use it for, but there was something about this colour and the look of it that I was really drawn to. In fact, me and my friend Laura were both drawn to it and both bought a skein. So it is this. It is inspired by salmon. So Copperstone had this display of these yarns in different colours, and the theme of them all was the various life stages of salmon. And I just was really drawn to this salmon pink colour with the black speckles. I can absolutely see the salmon inspiration in it. It would be hard not to. So this, of course, is a fingering sock yarn, because if I'm ever just buying one skein with no plan for it, I tend to drift towards a sock yarn because I know that I'm at least going to make socks or a shawl. It's fingering sock. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this skein is 115 grams, 420 yards, and it's a 3-ply yarn. Oh, copper spoon. Did I say copper stone? Copper spoon. It's called the Salmon series. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do with this yet. I really like it. I don't know if, I think I might do something not socks with it, to be honest. I feel like it's something I want to show a bit more than socks that are going to be in shoes when you're out and about. So maybe I'll do a shawl design. It wouldn't be enough for me for a top. Definitely not, unless I incorporate it with something else. And actually, these two, this combination goes really well. I'm not going to be using them together because I know what I'm going to use this for, and this is not a part of that. But I do really like these two colours together, so maybe I'll have to get some more of this and think of something. But yeah, they are my purchases from Fibres West. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing my tied collar again. I'm wearing it a lot because I just find it really fun. And this is my current favourite combination for this. This is actually my boyfriend's jumper. It's a store-bought one in like this burgundy, like plum wine colour. And I think the light blue and that go really well. So this is very cosy, oversized jumper for me. And that's my favourite combination at the moment. I've been wearing it to work, wearing it at home. Yeah, I'm really happy with this collar. Anyway, back to what else I have been up to this month. I this week finished finally this reversible top design. Actually, as I'm recording this, I haven't bound off yet because I wanted to make super sure that I was happy with this top and the length of it before I committed to the tubular bind off, which is what I'm going to be doing for the bind off. It's still a stretchy bind off, but it has a neater look compared to the Jenny's stretchy, super stretchy bind off that I'm normally going to ensure something is going to fit over my neck, my body, my arm. I'm going to do that, and it's going to take some time, so I wanted to make sure I was absolutely happy with it first. So I washed it, blocked it, and left it to dry for a couple of days before trying on now, but very happy with the length. So this deeper v-neck side, and then this is the slightly shallower scoop neck side, so you can choose. And I wanted to get it done this weekend because it's cherry blossom time in Vancouver, which is a very short window of like 2 weeks where the cherry blossoms out looking beautiful. Everyone's taking photos. It's a major thing here in Vancouver, but they are beautiful. And I thought maybe this colour will go well against cherry blossom trees. So I'm going to try bind this off and get pictures this weekend for the pattern. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is the update. You'll see the final finished one by the end of the video. Okay, so that's the photo shoot done. I think the photos are okay. I always feel so awkward when I'm doing the photos for the patterns out in public, especially the cherry blossoms. Very popular. There's lots of other people taking photographs as well. But hopefully it was okay. I took my partner with me so that I didn't feel so vulnerable. So yeah, you'll see some more of them shortly as the pattern gets ready to be published. But yes, I am really happy with it. Now it took a little bit of like jiggling around with the sizing and the shaping to get there, but now I am happy with it. And if you remember, my original sample was in this black yarn from Life in the Long Grass, and I really like this yarn, but I don't want to take pictures with this sample because it's not quite right and it doesn't represent the pattern anymore. For example, as I mentioned, I have changed the scoop neck depth and shaping. I have made the ribbing at the bottom longer than this version, so and I only bought 2 skeins of this yarn to begin with, so I don't have enough yarn to make another one, and I don't want to waste the yarn. So what I might do is unravel all of this, frog it all, wash the yarn and make another sample I can wear myself because I really like it, and I can also take pictures to show the 2 different colours. Not necessarily a major rush for me to do that, but I probably will do that, at least the unraveling and washing the yarn. But watch this space for that. But yeah, now that is out of the way, I can move on to some other works in progress that I have been dragging along for months, and I'll get straight into those now. So the first one is that baby blanket that I have been working on for months and months, picking up, putting it down. I believe in last month's vlog I said that I was going to finish that blanket that week. That didn't happen, of course, but I have finished it now, kind of. Here it is. The only thing I have left to do is weaving in all the ends, which I of course should have done along the way to save myself the pain of weaving them all in now. But I'm happy to have finally got this done. So I have just made this to like a baby buggy, like stroller size. I was weighing up whether I wanted to make it any bigger, but I think this is a good size, and I actually haven't like washed it yet. I think it will stretch out a bit as the yarn relaxes with the wash, and I can block it out a bit. But yes, I do need to weave in all the ends, so perhaps I should prioritize that next. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out, and I have plenty of the Drops Merino superwash merino left, so I think I can get this sent away to be gifted and then make a second sample, either a smaller, I don't know if it'd be quite enough to make another baby blanket, but perhaps a cushion cover, just to show the variation that you could do with this pattern, just in terms of like making the right amount of squares for whatever size you want it to be. So yeah, I'm relieved to finally have this done. I will write it up as a pattern at some point. I definitely haven't started doing that yet, but I don't think it would be too tricky of a pattern. But I'm about to show you my next pattern design coming up, which I'm very excited about and will be doing first before I start with this blanket. I think I've talked enough about this in past vlogs. If you've missed them, you can go back and watch either February's vlog, or I reckon, I'm not sure when I was working on it before, but late 2025, and I'll probably talk about it more once I've written a pattern for it. So keep following if you're interested in seeing this knit crochet blanket pattern come together, and I will probably take photos and videos of this when it's finally had all the ends weaved in, been washed and blocked, and in its final state. But thank you for bearing with me if you've been following my vlogs for a while and see me talk about this project and work on this project for about 6 months. Okay, so my next design, which I did give a little sneak peek to in my February vlog, are a pair of socks, and these are going to be kind of stash busty leftover yarn themed socks. So I have them finished here. Again, these haven't been washed, but they are otherwise finished. These kind of ripple pattern with the little toes, I love them. I think they're really fun. It will be great for any mini skeins that you might have. This pink yarn was a mini skein from Bramble Ridge that I received. This yellow and green is left over from other sock projects, as well as this white yarn. So it's great for leftover sock yarn you may have already from either knitting a pair of socks or other. So I'm going to write up the pattern for this next, but I did start another version of these socks because I got inspired by having maybe two versions of this sock design within one pattern. Let me just grab, have I got it? So I haven't finished this one yet, but I thought I love this idea of having the ripples and then like a block and then the toes. But maybe if you've got lots of leftover yarn, you might want to continue the pattern throughout the whole of the sock. And so I cast on another version, which, as you can see, has the ripples going the whole way down. I haven't finished yet. I think I have another block or so to do before I start doing the toe decreases, and then I'll add in the heel afterwards. But I just wanted to show, play around a bit more with this design because I really like that one, but I thought, oh, what if you wanted to like continue down? Can I make that work for a sock pattern? So I think, although I haven't started writing the pattern yet, I think I'll have two different versions. So one where you can have it like this, and the other where it continues the whole way through the sock. And there'll be modifications in terms of like foot length and calf length and how you can continue the pattern if you do make those modifications. I'll make sure to include that, as I like generally do have any simple modifications written out in my patterns. So look forward to that. I think now that I've got the reversible top, which by the way I didn't say, I think I'm going to call it the Mayne top, M-A-Y-N-E. A lot of my patterns, you may have noticed, have been named after locations in British Columbia. A lot of the Gulf Islands are featured there. I love to visit the Gulf Islands here. It's one of my favourite things to do since living in British Columbia. And so Mayne Island is somewhere that we visited, I don't know, four years ago maybe. Really lovely island, as they all are, to be honest. And I haven't used that for a pattern name yet, so it's going to be called the Mayne top, I think. So now I have written the pattern for that and it needs to go through the process of tech editing and testing. I can move on to writing up this sock pattern. Shouldn't take me too long, I don't think, because I've written quite a few sock patterns now and using the same kind of yarn, so I know my gauges and my foot lengths and etc. So it shouldn't be too long. So that'll be another one, I don't know when, maybe in the next couple of months to have testing. If you are interested in testing any of the patterns that I am showing you in today's episode, please sign up to my newsletter because that's the first place that I do testing callouts for patterns. So you can find a link in the description below or visit my website wanderandcreatewithemma.com. And also, if you don't want to test but you might want to purchase the patterns when they're released, the newsletter is also the best place to be for that because I generally create a special discount for newsletter subscribers when I release a pattern. So do be sure to sign up. That's the socks. So it's a lot of it is Cascade Heritage sock yarn, just because that's a yarn I buy a lot for socks because it's an affordable price. There's lots of colours available, but really, as long as you're going to meet gauge with any fingering weight sock yarn, this is going to be a great pattern for you. And I think it'll just be very fun, very playful look, and you know, you can make it into like your theme and palette of colours. You can have fun with them, make lots of different ones, and it'll just be a great way to get through that leftover yarn that I personally do have a lot of fingering weight yarn to get through. So I'm going to be recommending this pattern once it is out. And that's it for the kind of works in progress I have on my needles right now. But I think now that I'm kind of one pattern design down, in a sense, I'm going to get back to the wrap tops. If you've been watching me for at least the last, I don't know when I started this actually, the last year I'd say, you might remember that I was initially working on like a wrap top design, but I got to a bit of a barrier, self-created barrier, where I'd started to design it, try and write out the shaping, start knitting it, but it hadn't quite come out right when I finished it, or at least I got halfway through making it and I realised it wasn't quite meeting how I wanted it to fit and look. So I kind of put it to one side and thought I'd think about it. And whilst I haven't really done too much with it since, in my mind I have redesigned it and think I know how I want it to be now. Enhance the kind of initial design. This is still all in my mind, so I do want to make some space to kind of commit to starting to write that out and figure out the kind of shaping and sizing and grading it, and then start kind of making a sample to see if it's going to work out how I hope it is. Sorry, there's probably not too much more to say on that right now because I haven't really started it, so maybe next month you might see if I've made any progress on that. But that will probably take me a little while and would be a pattern that wouldn't come out until later this year, I don't think. It will be a fingering weight yarn with, I'm using Knitting with Olive Cotton Merino blend yarn, really nice yarn. So really good for summer, also maybe good for fall when it's slightly warmer fall days as a cover up. But again, it's going to be a kind of versatile design like the reversible top, but this time with a wrap top. It's going to kind of, in my mind, it's going to be adjustable, with, you know, change in size fluctuations, maybe different ways that you can wear it. This is what I've got in my mind. It's kind of what I want my pattern and designs to be, is kind of versatile, changing with you, adjusting with you, or giving you more of like capsule wardrobe. If you can have one top that you can wear two different ways, if you have kind of size fluctuations, it can change with you. It could be an accessory that you can pair with anything, or something that's using up leftover yarn in your stash, like that kind of sustainable idea of making things that you'll be like using again and again. That's what I want to like bring to my pattern designing. My other hope for the next kind of 2 to 3 months is that I get back to another whip that I have paused and not touched this year, which is my Woollen Pine top. It's a fingering weight stash busty pattern that I started last year that incorporates fingering weight yarn, and you're changing colours every kind of other row. It might be in my basket actually. That's all falling out. Yeah, this is it. And I haven't, as I say, I haven't touched it this year at all. But it was a real enjoyable project. I love just that it's just incorporating everything. And as you can see, it's just changing colour all the time. My one fear now though is that because I've left it so long, I'm not going to remember where I got up to, because I'm not organised enough to make notes in a pattern to mark where I am. So it's either going to be easy enough that I can figure out where I stopped, or I'm not going to know, and then I don't know what I do about that, other than I'd have to start again, which I really wouldn't want to unravel all of this, so hopefully I'll be able to work it out. But yeah, I would really love to get back to this and finish this, because it's such a fun project. It will get me through some more of my stash, and it'll be something that I can wear kind of late spring. I don't know if it'll be warm for summer, but I could layer it for like the autumn. So yeah, that's my goal as well, to get back to this. I think a lot of my design ideas will be out of the way in the next 2 to 3 months. I can get back to some other things and maybe make some other people's patterns. We'll see how we go. Well, we'll see. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you next time. This weekend coming up is Easter weekend. as you're watching this, and I am going to be in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm hoping to do some yarn shopping and just generally check out the city. Although we have been to Victoria a couple of times before, I don't feel like we've properly explored it, so I'm really looking forward to a weekend away, and I will be filming like a yarn shopping tour as my next video after this one. So if you're interested in seeing Victoria and like beautiful Vancouver Island, check out that one. And I will see you next month for another whip and finished object update. Thank you for watching.